Hey there, I've got another question from a viewer just like you out there, and this time the question is, do business brokers add to the cost of the transaction? Now, you can look at that question in one of two different ways. They certainly add to the seller's cost of the transaction because the seller is the one that ends up paying for the broker. I think the spirit of the question though is, does the business end up selling for a higher price because a business broker is involved? And the answer to that question is, it depends. And what it depends upon is if there's a competing field of buyers or not. So when I was a business broker, I used to charge two different fees. I used to charge one fee, an engagement fee, when people came in the door and wanted to hire me. And what was great about the engagement fee, other than the fact that it put money in my pocket, was that it separated the motivated from the unmotivated sellers. So I would sit down with someone and I would explain the process and I would say, if this is good for you, sign this contract, bring these documents and a check for $1,500, $2,500, $3,500, depending on the size of the business. And many of them would then go away and I'd never hear from them again. Or maybe I'd hear from them in a year or something like that. And then other ones would show up the very next day with the contract signed, all the documents I'd asked for, and a check. So that's what you call a motivated seller. So sellers that go to business brokers that pay an engagement fee, and you can ask a business broker this, you can say, do people have to pay to have their businesses listed with you? Because there are some people out there who call themselves business brokers that don't charge an engagement fee. So this may not apply to them. But if you're dealing with a broker who charges an engagement fee, then you can be certain that those sellers are serious about selling their business. Okay? That is the clearest indicator possible of motivation. And when one party is motivated, it means that they're usually willing to move. So if the seller is motivated, it means that you're likely looking at potentially working out a price that is at or maybe even below the real fair market value of that business, whatever that figure happens to be. Now, one of the things that the business broker is going to be saying to that seller before you ever meet them is they're going to say, I have 500 buyers on my list. So if you list your business with me, there's a good chance that I can bring multiple buyers to the table. They're going to bid against each other and you're going to end up getting more money for your business. So that's why I say it depends if you're asking, do business brokers add to the cost of buying a business? Because if you are in fact competing against other buyers, the price can get driven up. But if you're not, and the vast majority of businesses that get listed with brokers are not the subject of competition. Why? Well, it has to do with the nature of markets. You see, there's a market for four-door used cars. There are many of them. There are many buyers. There are many sellers. That's what you need for a market. A whole bunch of transactions going on. There is a market for three-bedroom homes. There are many of them. There are many buyers, many sellers. Lots of transactions going on. We can observe the market. The problem is that there's no such thing as a market for small businesses. Every small business has its own market. So if I'm a business broker and I have a flower shop for sale and an engineer with experience in manufacturing comes in, chances are he's not in the market for the flower shop. See what I mean? So businesses that are great businesses can sit for sale on the listing books of business brokers for a very long time. And there's nothing wrong with them, at all. The problem is that there just haven't been enough buyers in that market come through the broker's door to make an offer. So if you're going out looking for a business to buy, I wouldn't shy away from business brokers. It's a great place to find motivated sellers who have been properly prepared, if it's a good broker, who have had their expectations properly set, again, if it's a good broker, where you can probably make a very good deal because they're certainly motivated. Anyway, I hope that little insight helps, and we'll talk to you next time. If you're interested in learning more and are very serious about buying a business, then you should be enrolling yourself in my online business buyer course, which can be found at businessbuyeradvantage.com. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. That's great. Don't forget, visit www.investlocalbook.com sign up for my email list. It's right down here under the welcome video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.